Hey, remember how I said back in episode 2 I would explain why I thought Isamu was stupid?
Look, he's not the sharpest crayon in the box, and I'll explain more about that in episode 3.
See? I totally did. And then in episode 3, I totally didn't do it?
Be all around the Milky Way.
I totally didn't. Okay, to make things short and sweet. In episode 3, when Kamen Rider Valkyrie did her henshin, Yu Yu Yaiba, she slotted her rushing cheetah progrise key into her belt, which then connected to the AIM server, authorizing it, which then she could flip open and use its power. That means Isamu had no reason at all to break his hand to open the Shooting Wolf progrise key. And by the way, him breaking his hand is extra stupid because he's a marksman. His main utility on his team is that he's really good at shooting a gun. Back to the normal review. This is so far the most important episode of 01. Aruto and Izu ride along a school field trip to evaluate a tour guide class Humagear, Anna. The tour is that of the ruins of Daybreak Town, Jin and Hobori's place of operation, and the site of the first Humagear riot that leveled the entire town. They arrive at a vista safely overlooking Daybreak Town. Anna reveals to the children that Daybreak was a joint project between various tech companies across Japan to create a prosperous city of the future with basic needs entirely performed by the Humagear, a satellite like the one that launches the armor bots for Aruto to do his cool Kamen Rider shit. We've been over the hidden satellite. Anyway, it was meant to be like a hive mind for the Humagear, and in science fiction literature, whenever you got robots hooked up to a hive mind. Anyway, Jin shows up, and he turns one of the bus drivers into a Magia, some kind of bat-like thing, some prehistoric bat-like creature. It attacks people. The Ames riders show up, they whoop ass, save the day. Then, there's this little boy. I couldn't find a picture of him. He's the B-plot. Him and Anna are important to this episode. Before the whole Humagear fight happens, this little boy is being made fun of by a group of kids that his father was the guy who blew up Daybreak Town, and he was a coward who didn't try to help or save people. At least that's the perception of what his sacrificial act was. And of course makes the boy sad, and of course it makes the Humagear Anna sad, and this is the first instance of Humagear self-awareness in the series, besides Izu clearly doing things behind Aruto's back by herself. They take the tour guide back to Hiden Enterprises. They talk about the whole Daybreak Town incident. Aruto agrees to go with her to investigate further, and back at the Ames headquarters, Isamu is talking to the kid, and the kid and him decide to break the law and break orders and go into the facility themselves. And of course it goes as well as you think. They're all attacked. It all goes to hell. Aruto and Isamu armor up. Isamu finds out Aruto is 01. That was a secret up to this point. And then, eventually, Anna and the boy find a computer where they learn all of the truth about his dad's sacrificial act. It turns out, yes, he did purposefully nuke Daybreak Town, but if he didn't, Humagear Factory would just keep pumping out rogue Humagear, and all of the Humagears would escape the city and kill the world. So he did a good job. It all worked out for him in the end. And later that information is broadcast to the world, and the boy is happy and saved. But before all that happens, the Magia attacks Anna, turns her into a trilobite Magia. That's the thing Jin has a gun to, and she's about to kill the little boy. But because she's the first self-aware Humagear we've seen up to this point, she breaks the metsobojinrai.net programming and uploads the information of the dad saving the world. And then after that, Isamu uses his punching Kong form, his new form, to kill the Magia, and everybody's saved. And he tells Aruto that the Ames is going to claim Anna's Magia-ified body because she's self-aware, and this is something they could study to stop the problem. But then a mysterious purple Kamen Rider shows up and kills her. This mysterious purple Kamen Rider is Horobi, and he was also the guy who hacked all the Magia. Hey Brando, what's up puppy? I'm closing my door now. Hibori was the guy who hacked all the Magia and got them to go crazy and kill Daybreak Town. So that's interesting. This is a really, really cool episode. I'm really liking that even though it's Kamen Rider, it's a big mess, that 01 has a long-running plot that's really kept going and really kept me engaged up to this point. Yeah, I'll see you guys around for episode 5, and of course I'll see you around the Milky Way.